Hi, I'm Paul Adams. Let me give you a feature tour of our app. The three best things I think is that it looks better, so you can see your student better and they can see you. It sounds better, and you can also find students on the app. So let me take you through the looking better features. The first thing we have is a built-in camera switcher, so you can stream multiple cameras at the same time. You can do 4 or 5 if you want to. I usually use 3. So right in my setup, I've got this overhead camera right here on a mic stand, and all that information's on my website if you want to make a setup like this. It all costs, all the cameras and mic stands and stuff all cost under $100. So you can have this really good looking lesson for very little. And let me show you my camera switcher. You press the C button, or you can also get to it from the menu. So you press the C button, up the camera switcher comes, and it takes a little sample of all the cameras too, so you know which one to click. So to get my keyboard, I click on the one that's got a view of my keyboard, and then I go over here and I say, make this a keyboard view. Now it makes it a strip at the bottom. Okay, now you're gonna see 2 keyboards. This is because our app has MIDI connectivity, and one of the things you can do with that connectivity is connect to your piano that's digital or digitally enabled, like this disc clef here, and you can actually show the student what you're playing both with the camera and with this virtual keyboard, which helps when you're teaching chords, because they can't always tell, especially beginners, what you're doing. When I play a C chord, especially white key chords, you can't really see what I'm pressing, but this makes it very clear. Okay, so this camera switcher, you can just bring it up, set it down really quickly with the C key. It's a nice shortcut. Another thing that is really great, this works on almost any platform, Chromebooks, Windows, iOS, Android, Macs, right? So it kind of covers everything. So you can bring in a second device. You can go in and join the classroom silently. And, so you can join it as a camera only and as a screen share device only. What I'm doing here is I'm sharing my regular Fourscore over here. So I can double click on any window to make it big for both me and my student. So I go over here and I double click this. Now it's pinned for everybody and it's bigger. And so they can see what I'm doing. So that I can go and say, okay, let's do this. It's just doing a total screen share of what I'm doing on here. So if I'm, showing that this is actually another melody line, now I can show it over here. All right. So that's our screen sharing. So, you have these views that are better. You have features like the double click to make something pinned, and then you have a keyboard view. So all these scenes are set up for you. It's basically OBS without the BS. That's what I like to say. All right. And then I think another great feature is our sound. So we have really high quality acoustic sound by default. So you don't have to turn off any filters. It's high bit rate. You really hear those overtones. And if you want it to be completely lossless and potentially play duets with your student, you can connect MIDI. So this thing that looks like a painter's palette over here, this is your MIDI menu, which you don't see in a lot of apps. So right here, I have my piano connected by MIDI. Here, zoom out a little bit. And when I click this box, so it actually makes those keys move, but on a digital piano, it's playing through the piano. So when I play my piano, the student's piano can actually play, which gives you completely lossless sound, and on good connections, very latency free, and you can play duets just like you're right there in person. You can hear exactly what they do. You can hear their pedaling, their phrasing, their articulation. It's all there. So that's a big deal. And even if they don't have a MIDI piano, it will play through a synthesizer on their side. So it's still super clear. In fact, you can use a voice isolation microphone in a noisy environment connected to your piano, and they can still hear you crystal clear with no distortion. And of course, I'm always willing to give demos if people want to know more about that. Let me show you also our features for finding students. So I'm going to leave this room, and here's our classroom. I'll get to that in a second, show you the features of that. But first I'm going to go over here to Match. So Match has a huge listing of available teachers and available students. We have over 500 students at this point, and they're all here. You can offer them lessons, and anywhere in the world you have access to available students. So that's pretty great. As a teacher, you can create a profile. You have these, here's me. So these are the age groups I teach. These are the styles, and they can filter based on these and find somebody that's a good fit for them. Okay, and then the last part of my tour, I just want to show you our classroom setup. So basically, what I've noticed is that students don't check their emails and sometimes don't even have access to them. So in our classroom, we have a place to put all your content. So when you take a video of the session, so our app is able to capture a session, of course, and you could also upload documents. So I can drag and drop, or I can upload a file from my system and put it in there, and then they'll have it. So that means you don't have to email them. It also automatically takes notes. So when you make a class, here's what I was just talking about as I made this video. It has a whole transcript of it, which is really nice if you need to go back, and sometimes I forget a student's name and I cheat. That's what I do with that. And I'm like, okay, what was the name? And it also makes a little summary for them. So here it's making a summary of what I just talked about. So this is really nice. You can copy it and send it to a student, or just have them look in their classroom. And you also have a way to chat with them. You can chat with everyone. If you do a big group class, you can do private chats. So there's some really cool features in there that way. So those are the big overall features. There's more, and especially if you do group classes. And again, send me a message if you're interested, but that's the basic tour.